Captain Paul for the Locker Room here. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. We're trying to reach 2,000 subscribers for the end of the month, and let's get into it. The St. Louis Blues have traded Captain Ryan O'Reilly to the Toronto Maple Leafs as a 3-team deal that also includes the Minnesota Wild. O'Reilly, a center, heads to Toronto along forward with Noel Acciari. In exchange, St. Louis receives prospect Mikhail Abramov, forward Adam Gaudette, Leafs 2023 first-round pick, the Ottawa Senators 2023 third-round pick, and the Toronto's 2024 second-round pick. The Wild sent forward Josh Pillar to Toronto and received Leafs 2025 fourth-round pick in return. Pillar has 12 points in 12 games with the Saskatoon Blades. O'Reilly was going to be a UFA at the end of the season, so they're getting something back for O'Reilly. St. Louis will retain 50% of his salary. Minnesota will retain an additional 25%, which this was needed, because if they didn't, there was no way Toronto would fit O'Reilly underneath their cap. Toronto Maple Leafs have zero cap space. This is their last significant deal before the trade deadline. Ryan O'Reilly, in 40 games played, has 12 goals, 7 assists for 19 points, with a pedestrian minus 24. It's going to be interesting to see how O'Reilly fits in this lineup. Right now, he is slotted as a third-line center, and having someone that is a great defensive center that has a lot of upside is always good to have. O'Reilly, while this year has been awful, last year in 78 games played, 21 goals, 37 assists for 58 points. I don't think it'd be wild to say he could get back to form on a very good team. The St. Louis Blues were a very poor team, so I imagine it would re-energize him to go on to a cup contender. Now, do I believe this takes Toronto Maple Leafs over the top? No, I am a firm believer when it comes to the Toronto Maple Leafs, you need to get out of the first round before you think anything about the cup. They've always had these very talented forward groups. Their defense has always fallen apart. Their goaltending as well. And currently right now, their goaltending situation isn't great because Samsonov has missed a little time because he's kind of sick. And then Matt Murray's injured again. So you kind of have to ask yourself, Matt Murray is the one with a Stanley Cup pedigree. As of today, Samsonov is pretty much unproven when it comes to the postseason. He has played great this year. He's having a career year. But let's not forget, he's an RFA at the end of this season. He has all the motivation in the world to be as good as he possibly can be. And even with the addition of a high-quality player like Ryan O'Reilly, I'm not sure the Maple Leafs will get out of the second round. And that's not to slight them. I think they're a very good team. If they did the 1 through 8 in the playoff format, which I think they should go back to, they'd probably go to round 2, possibly a round 3. But Toronto versus Tampa Bay, I'm going to be taking Tampa Bay every single time until Toronto proves to me they will come up in the clutch moments. Tampa has the leadership, the skill, and the playoff track record that they can succeed in high-intensity situations. I'd be interested to know what your thoughts are down below. Do you think the Toronto Maple Leafs will finally buck the trend to get past the first round? I'm Captain Paul for the Locker Room. Again, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. I will see you in the next one.